How you doing, guys? I just thought I'd make a quick video on my cooking setup. Been getting a lot of questions on my DIY Discotta setup. So here I have a plate, and I'll show you how I made it. It's just simply a metal disc. I'll come in a little bit closer. It's a little metal disc, and it measures about 12 inches across. What I simply did is cut a hole on the inside, measures about 6 inches or so, just big enough to fit my Coleman single burner. You can pick that up on Amazon. I'll leave a link below, and and you set that inside this metal disc. I bolted it in with a couple of screws, and then on the underside simply welded a couple of receptacle tubes with a couple of nuts and eye bolts. And in my Jeep, since I raised the floor up, I put in a couple of PVC tubes to house my legs, and they just simply screw in. I tighten them in. Been getting a lot of questions on this. Instead of getting the commercial available what they call is I hate to say the word Skottle, but the Discotta has been available for many years, and I came up with a better mousetrap. The nice thing about this is the burner is a separate entity, so I can use this all by itself. So if I wanted to boil a pot of coffee all by itself, I can use the burner by itself instead of having the burner attached to the cooking surface by itself. So, and then I picked up the cooking surface off of Amazon. It's made by Bayou Classic. It's a cast iron cooking surface, and that simply sits on top. So it's made by Bayou Classic. It's cast iron. I'm not going to go into how to season cast iron. There's 100 or so videos out there on how to properly season it. I've cooked on this over 100 times, so it's very well seasoned, and I absolutely love this thing. It's a lot shallower than your typical plow disc, and I absolutely love it. So that's one method I use. The nice thing about this particular product is that it has tapped and drilled holes in it. So the way it actually comes, and it's designed actually with these metal rods. These metal rods get screwed in. There's 3 of them, go all the way around. Okay, which is kind of neat. And the purpose of this product, I'm pulling this apart a little bit. So Bayou Classic actually markets this product by itself to be placed over a campfire, right over the coals. So what I did is I took this and simply removed the legs. So interestingly enough, if you take these legs, and what I did as an option, went to my local Ace Hardware or your local hardware store, picked up a barrel nut and extension threaded rod. You can simply add that to it. And if you wanted a no welding option, you can extend the legs, which is kind of neat. Let me just add that. Sorry about the mosquitoes are out today. Kind of get the idea. So basically what I'm doing is extending the legs. So if I didn't want to set up the big legs, I can set up my Discotta as a short option. Let me open my table here. I don't think the table will be big enough, but you kind of get the idea. I can set this down on a table, and this burner, if I didn't have it attached to my plate, it comes with a stand, and this burner with the 1 pound propane tank will slide perfectly in this space, which is awesome if you wanted to do it on a picnic table or in my case on this table, and you can cook right on the surface, which is fantastic. So let me set this down. So that is one cooking option that I have. And if you were wondering, with this quick disconnect, I have a quick disconnect fitting on my hose here, and I can just pop that on. I already hooked it up to my 5 pound propane tank, which I hooked that up, and that makes it super convenient. So my second option is my regular 2 burner camp stove, which I use, and that I also have converted so I can use my quick disconnect hose, and I can hook up right to my 2 burner stove here. So if you want to know how I did that, I'll put a link above and in the description below. I did a separate video on how I took my stove apart and added the quick disconnect. This is a standard RV propane quick disconnect, so it is perfectly safe. It's made for propane. Do not use the air hose quick disconnect because they are not made for propane. So this is specifically designed for propane use. So that's my second option. And if you happen to be camping in very high windy conditions, my Jeep is set up with, let me see, hold on one second, with high capacity batteries. So I have a third option, and once you have experienced induction cooktops, you will never go back. So I have an induction cooktop, and I have an induction frying pan, and I can cook my eggs in the morning, make my coffee in the morning in high wind conditions. And those of you who have tried to cook with propane stoves and 40 or the 35, 40 mile an hour winds. You guys know how difficult it is to try to cook with propane in high windy conditions. Induction cooktops are excellent in windy conditions, and I'm going to make a separate video on that in of itself, so I'm not going to get too much in depth on that, but these induction cooktops are fantastic. So if you have any more questions, comments, leave those below, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.